everybody, I'm glad you're here today. I am going to just get the year right. This is 2024, January 9th, all right? So I know a couple of videos, I got stuck, I said 2023 when it wasn't, and it just takes me to about April, y'all, to get the year right. Just bear with me. I'm going to bring you a word that I received during my worship time this morning. I am going to just bring you, I'm going to have to preface this with some things and explanations, but that will be very interesting. It's encouraging, it's enlightening, it's a warning, so hang with me. I'm going to bring that in just a second. I want to start off by saying you are loved. You are loved by God completely and fully. And in him there is no condemnation for those who believe in Jesus. You need to hang on to that, all right? In everything, in everywhere you go, hang on to that good news, that goodness. He loves me and he loves you, and you are dear to him, as am I. So I wanted to just shoot straight with y'all and bring that to you just like that. There's probably more to that message that's bubbling up inside of me, but I haven't put it in words yet. I would like to make a video that describes when I say I'm in worship, or when I write these things down while I am in worship. I don't know if I should describe to you what that is. It's not any ritual. It's not anything other than time with Father, Son, and Spirit. I don't even know if I could explain it any more than I could explain the wind. So I mean, it's not anything I time. It's not anything I do other than I do it. Not out of obligation. Never out of obligation. Because I can't imagine not doing it. And then, you know, y'all, when I was younger and my kids were little, I didn't have time for these things. And people like, you know, well, I'm not even going to name names. Okay, there were women in the Christian community that were very outspoken and had written books and blah 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 about God timed this, God led her this, Daddy God this, you know, all these things. And I was just in the trenches trying to get my kids raised to be people that of somewhat functional adults. You know, that's where I was at back then. So I didn't spend hours and hours with God. Did he punish me for that? Did he withdraw from me? Of course not. No, he enveloped me and was with me through all of that too. I can't explain how it all works, y'all. But I do know this. He loves me and he loves you. We're going to leave it at that right now. Now, I'm going to bring you this word. I'm going to read a passage out of the Bible, out of 1 John chapter 1 here in just a second. I want to explain right quick. This word is kind of personal in some ways, in that because I have written plays and directed plays and things like that, and have been in the theater world that's very tame, like, y'all, it's like volunteer homeschool theater world. It's not college level, university level. I mean, that's pretty homegrown stuff. So, but anyway, what I have, when I do a play, I expect excellence. You can ask any of the kids that have gone through my productions. I expect the absolute most from them they can give. Like, leave everything on the stage. You do not I nearly said a bad word. You do not do it halfway, okay? You do it full. Everything. Your very best. And so I require excellence. And one of the things is, even with the crew, there are people on lights and sound that I require the same standard from. So if whoever is on spotlight, okay, which is part of the word today, is the spotlight. Whoever's running spot, they are required to do certain things. Like, first of all, hit the cues spot on. Not a second early, not a second late. Okay, I don't need to elaborate that. The cue has to be perfect. The light, the color of the light has to be perfect. The size of the spot has to be perfect where it is on the stage. As soon as that light comes on, you do not adjust it unless it's in the play. But no, the spot does not move. It does not wiggle. It does not shake. Comes on, boom, lights the actor, boom, goes off when it's supposed to. Those are the bare minimum of the spot. You wouldn't think the spotlight person would be under that much pressure, but they are. They really are. And the actors and actresses are told to be nice to the person running the spot, because they can make you look good or they can make you look bad. They could spot you, or you could be delivering your lines in the dark if they didn't like you. So anyway, those are, the person running the spot's a big deal. All right. So that's part of the word today. I just wanted to elaborate on that a minute. And also, one other thing, if you have been, like some of the old theaters have this, I guess high schools do too, the nice ones, they have an orchestra pit, the pit. The pit is what we call it. And, when I was in college in shows, the pit was like way deep, like good 6 feet deep. I mean, it went down. And so you're on the stage, you can see the people in the pit, in the orchestra. And sometimes they have water guns and they're shooting them at you. That does happen from time to time, those fun things. But sometimes they're just eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Many things happen in theater that you don't see. It's kind of like an illusion, except what's in the light is what you do see. There are people waiting in the wings also, and the wings are backstage, like for their cue to come in. Another thing, whoever's on the stage, you can see in your peripherals who's in the wings. So that's some like backstory, a little bit of vocabulary. I could talk about theater all day long. I love it. It's one of my favorite happy places to be. But let's get on with the word. Oh, let's go with the Bible word first. That's why I was holding my Bible in my hand in the first place. Okay, 1 John 1, chapter 1, verse 5. Okay, this is the New Living Translation. Y'all, it's just simple and easy for me to understand. And that's, my whole brain needs that. All right, here we go. This is the message we heard from Jesus. Okay, now this is the Apostle John speaking, okay? So this writer should know. He was an eyewitness. This is the message we heard from Jesus and now declare to you. God is light and there is no darkness in him at all. So we are lying if we say we have fellowship with God, but go on living in spiritual darkness. We are not practicing the truth. But if we are living in the light as God is in the light, then we have fellowship with each other, and the blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin. That is good news. That is good news, y'all. All right, so we're going to bring that to you. Y'all, let's let that simmer a little bit. Go look at it today, y'all. Y'all get your own Bibles and open it up and read that. Read 1 John all the way through. You talk about blowing your mind and making you feel warm and fuzzy. 1 John's one of those books. All right. January 9th, 2024, which is today. I will remind you, dear ones, that you yourselves are the temple in which I dwell. Let all the earth be silent before me. As you walk, I walk. As you love, I love. As you see, I see. For you, my children, are in me, and I in you. Your belief in faith of me has set you free from darkness of this world. Just as a spotlight follows the one on the stage, so I follow you. Now hear this clearly. There are those belonging to the enemy who wait in the wings, their motives filled with evil. So then for a little bit, like, Abba just became quiet. So I sat and waited. So then I just wrote down, I just said, how do we respond? Is this an individual in the wings, or is it like the world stage? And then this is what I heard. Both, my child. The light knows your next step and is there. Stay in the circle of the light. But alas, your nation has fallen into the pit, never to rise again, lost in its darkness. Knowing this, my dearest children, will allow you to understand the coming days, which are sure to bring confusion upon the earth. Many will wonder, what is going on? Few will seek an answer, preferring only to shrug, walking dumbly along, shallow roots blown here and there by each gust of wind from the storms around. The dumb will soon topple over, not even knowing they lie in the muck and manure of this fallenness. The storms are harsh, dear ones. The storms are now coming, one after the other. Shelter in me. Stay in my spotlight. The brutal storms will wonder why you, my children, do not bend to its violent wind. It will blow harder against you, but because you have heeded my warnings, because you believe in me, because you stand on the stage, rooted deeply in me, in the light of my love, the wind will not knock you down, for those in my light are stronger than the darkness all around them. There you go. Y'all, I couldn't come up with that. No way, no how. I am not that. So, we'll leave that as it is. Y'all let that soak in and do whatever you need to do to respond to Father accordingly. Whatever that is. Now, what is talking about the wind and the storms, y'all, all across our nation right now, this huge winter storm is coming, going, in the middle of. It feels like it's one after another this winter. We have just survived a blizzard. It was an official blizzard in our county. My husband, I made that video last night, that little quick 1-minute video, showing y'all. After I posted that video, it got like 100 times worse. It was a complete whiteout. My husband said it was some of the most treacherous driving he had ever driven. He's on a 4-lane highway on the way home from the next town over, because that's where he works. Usually it takes him about 15 minutes to get home. It took him 35, 40 minutes, going 30 miles an hour at the fastest, 7 miles an hour most of even that sometimes. So today it's solid ice, but the sun's out, so that's good. So whatever's going on, these storms, if they hit your house and you're in the middle of a blizzard or rainstorm or whatever this next week, 2 weeks, remember this word. The wind is going to blow on us. And this is like, when I'm saying this now, I'm talking spiritual wind. That there are things happening in the world that are going to push up against us. Like the wind. It is like the wind. And so last night I sat in my house eating. I decided to have stew instead of chili because my kids were like, we're tired of chili. So I'm like, oh, let's do stew. I was eating stew and cornbread in front of my fire. When my family was all home, you talk about sit down and send up a prayer of thanksgiving. I did that. So my prayer is for everyone out in these storms and those of you who have to survive them still. If your power goes out, y'all just hang in there. Get everything ready you can right now, today. If you have power today, do whatever you need to do, because you may not have it tomorrow. But as we move forward, y'all, as we move forward, remember we are the temple. God is in us. His Holy Spirit dwells in us, and we walk with Him. And everywhere we walk is holy ground. And the darkness doesn't know what to do with us because we are the light. I'm going to just leave that with y'all. Y'all stay close to Jesus. Come to Him. If you haven't, take one step close to Him. Just one prayer. It doesn't have to even start with Dear God. It can just start with, what am I doing and can you help me? Or even, help me. I'm drowning. Those are fine. He hears those too. And He will respond. I promise you. Do what you need to do today. Stay warm and safe. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.